Because for Valentine's, people think about what am I going to get? The gifts, the dinner, the reservations. It's so many, expectations of what Valentine should be. But it's also about the small little gestures. Like if your wife has...
Welcome to Mama's Playground. This is Monica.
And this is Darlene.
Happy Valentine! Oh boy. If you guys were sitting here next to me and you were seeing this woman, she's got Luna's, her daughter's little cintillo, headband with two sparkly hearts. And she's very distracting right now.
Who said they are Luna's?
Oh, they're yours. Okay, sorry. I'm
mine.
Are they Luna's? I know they're Luna's. You didn't buy that for yourself.
Yeah, they are Luna's. So it's a special day. First of all, it's our first year anniversary doing Mama's Playground.
Yes,
so
it is.
This is our first year. Second of all, it's our second anniversary of meeting each other.
It is a two-year friendship. A two-year
friendship. A 1-year co-working experience, co-hosting experience.
Yeah. How has that been for you, Darlene?
Which part?
This is therapy hour.
Being your friend or
being my partner on this podcast for a year.
It's been really fun. It's been fun. Obviously, everything comes with always a little bit of stress. Oh my God, when can we shoot? How's your schedule? How's yours? What are we going to talk about?
It's the relationship, you guys.
But yeah, we made it. We had this is our second episode of our second season. We made the first one. We had I think 43 episodes. It's been fun, and I'm excited for more things to come.
Yeah.
Yes.
Our second season, revamping our second season.
But it is Valentine's, and I've always celebrated not only love, you celebrate friendships and all that. And for the first time, I sent Luna to school with, how they give cards. And things.
Yeah.
I didn't know that the first year, and I was the only mom that didn't take anything. And we kept getting all these cards at home, and I'm like, oh no. So this year, I bought everything a month ago. So
you were planned, prepared.
I was prepared. So yeah, happy Valentine's Day, everybody. For those of you that are in a relationship, and for those of you that are not, my good friend Marta.
Congratulations to you if you're not. I'm just kidding.
My good friend Marta, we were all single. We went to dinner, and on Valentine's, I remember she met her now husband of a bunch of years. So anyway, today, have you ever heard of this term, love language?
Yes, I have.
Okay. So for some reason, it came to me a later point in my life, recently, but it's great because I was asked, and Fabian, we were asked to both choose what our love language is. And I'll tell you soon what it is. Think about what your language is. And for those of you listening, let's do this little quiz. Okay. Do you feel more loved when your partner, I'm going to give you a couple of options, tells you, I love you, or praises you,
verbally,
something you did. Or if he surprises you with a meaningful gift, or if he plans a trip, just the two of you. That's always, I imagine, on the top of everybody's list. Runs errands, or does the laundry, washing the dishes, or just holds your hand, while you're walking.
Yeah, like a physical touch.
Like a physical. So what's the one that you prefer the most? Think about it.
Are you asking me, or are we just saying this out loud so people are thinking about it?
Both of them. They can answer.
They can. I could subliminally, or what is it? I have telekinetic powers.
I think some people are saying all of them, all of the above, right?
Yeah. But what's the main one? Because there has to be a main one.
What would be, what's your love language?
I think my main one in my life, how it is now, because, everything evolves. But right now with the kids and the busy schedules and all that, my thing is when you take care, or you take a load off of me. That is my love language. If you can simplify and you show that you care and you're doing it because you want me to kind of have a little breather, that to me is... you did the dishes and I don't have to do them. Oh my God, that's my love language right now.
Yeah.
It's been since the kids were born.
I'm sure that a lot of people are agreeing. So there are 5. So one is words of affirmation, which is telling you I love you or thank you for doing that or oh my God, I love what you just did or stuff like that. I love I love the food that you just made, like words of affirmation. Second one is quality time. Spending quality time with your other half, which means
a date night or something like that.
A date night, putting your phone off, turning it off,
and all eyes on you, kind of thing.
All eyes on you. Physical touch would be the third one. The fourth is acts of service, which is what you were just talking about, and the other one is receiving gifts.
Can I put something out there that
yes.
if we do like a snippet, I'm going to put something out there. For me, I feel like men, again, here we go. This is going to be saying like, she's so feminist. No, I'm just kidding. But I feel like men would be more about physical touch. I think the bulk of men is physical and it comes back to sex. It does. Men tend to be more of show me love with put on a piece of sexy lingerie for me, seduce me. That is men. So? I do feel like the bulk of men would be more of that.
So you think that's Benji's?
I think men in general. I think that's Benji's. I think that's just men. Like from talking to my girlfriends, that's how men want to be shown that they're loved. Like they don't care about the chore that you did in the house or the laundry that you did. Like they don't see those things. They see like my wife or my girlfriend or significant other is sexy. She took the time to pick out a piece of lingerie and she waited for me in the bedroom with the red light, like Roxana said in one of our episodes that we had back in the day. I think that is the guys. I think. I'm not going to say all of them. I'm sure there's men out there that differ from this, but I want to say maybe 80% of men would be about sex.
And it's crazy because I feel like most of the women listening to this, if you are a mom especially, they would choose the one you chose, which is the one I chose, which is the acts of service. Because, oh my God, sometimes I'm putting Luna to bed and I hear him washing the dishes. You guys have no idea what that
does for you internally.
Actually, and this is where it can go hand in hand because it'll make you so happy that you're going to be like, you know what? I have the time now to get all sexy and go
and spend time.
Spend time with him. Everything goes hand in hand. And that's the importance of love languages. Understanding which one is yours, which one is your husband's or wife's, because then that's how you both make each other happy.
Yeah. Yeah. I have friends too that say, you know what? Oh my God, I wish he would. You're just like, he doesn't buy me anything. Like he stopped courting me such a long time ago. Like my love language is, my goodness, it's Valentine's, like wine and dine me. I'm not so much about that. Mine is more chores. Like, oh my God, you did a chore for me. I'm like, like I melt, you know, like, you know, cause you took a load off or something. Cause for me, I'm so anal with those things, especially now I try to be with the kids. It's like when you take that stress, you know, you folded the freaking laundry. Like that is like, oh my God, I know. Thank you so much. You know,
you made the bed, like those little things that could probably take you 15 minutes. Hey guys, that's what makes us happy.
Yeah.
Help us do the laundry. Help us wash the dishes. Help us, clean around the house, pick up stuff. If there's been like a paper on the floor for the past like 30 minutes and we keep walking by it, come on, grab it.
I am willing.
Somebody grab it. My back hurts.
I am willing to bet on this, Darlene. I am on a couple of mom groups like on Facebook and all that, like Broward moms and Miami moms. And you see all these women like venting. And the bulk of the women, anytime a woman has gone on there and vented and said, ladies, I don't know how you're feeling, but I'm just so stressed. He doesn't get it. The laundry. I'm telling you, I think all the Miami moms and Broward moms go on there going, oh my God, girl, I feel you. He doesn't see the laundry. If he just knew how sexy that is to us, like, it is really that way. It really is. I want to say that's like probably the number one love language of most.
Don't say I love you. Show it. Don't bring me a gift. Well, if you want. But, put it under the folded laundry.
Oh my God. Yes. Yes. Like, I don't know. Have it in the washer. Say, babe, look, the washer you got to get, and have the gift. You already did it. You took it out. But the gift is sitting in the washer and dryer. Something.
And then at the same time, say, I love you and you're amazing. See, that's all in one.
Yeah. And then
all the love languages in one.
And then the cycle turns, like you said. Well, it's everything. It's a vicious cycle. I think once you do that, then the men and women, because it's not that us women don't like physical touch. I just think that we're so preoccupied with other things that is probably the last thing that we leave.
Yeah, we're tired at times. I'll put Luna to sleep, 8:30, 9:30, depending. And and then I'll start cleaning up the house. So that's why when I come to the kitchen and I see that everything's clean, it's like, okay, hey baby, now
we have time.
We have time, or it doesn't have to always be like sexy time. It's like, okay, let's pop up the popcorn. Let's watch a movie. Let's cuddle. Let's have a glass of wine, and then everything leads to the next, right?
Yes.
But that it's helping each other, because when we have so many tasks and so many things, and the same with them, and then we're trying like to talk to them and they're on their phone and focus on, I'm getting this email, and then they want sexy time. No, it's not going to happen. And that takes me to another thing, that because for Valentine's, people think about, what am I going to get? The gifts, the dinner, the reservations. It's so many, expectations of what Valentine should be. But it's also about the small little like gestures. Like if your wife has the acts, if your wife has been telling you, honey, fix this. You know what? Fix it. And then put a bow, and that's your Valentine's.
Oh my God.
But
yes.
Just those little things go a long way, guys.
It means more. And I think also too, again, I always go back to age, because, we are moms in our 40s, we're not in our 20s, but I think you start evolving. Like back in the day when I was 20, maybe the gifts and, oh my God, the perfume and the nice purse and all those things would have been more, oh my God, like he cares, he loves me. It's showing, but it's material stuff, right? That later on fades and it gets old and you forget about it, like a new car, But the acts of kindness, or the acts of compassion, or the acts of showing somebody now, like that came more with age. I want to say, like, it's no longer the teddy bears and the little flower and all that stuff that you did back when you were younger. Now it's more like, it's that thing of reciprocating, meeting. You don't have to meet completely halfway, because I don't think there is a 50-50. It could be 60-40, depending on your household. But those things is really something, guys. This is a hint. If your wife is nagging you about something, and every month she's like, babe, the washer's not working, or it's leaking, and you haven't checked it, and the time keeps passing and passing. Yeah. When you just do that one thing and she doesn't have to remind you, that is like, you don't know how that makes us feel inside, that we don't have to be nagging. Like, trust me, we don't want to be nagging. Yeah. We don't.
No, I mean, and by the way, Benjamin, Fabian, if you already went and you bought that nice gift, don't go running now to return it. Like, it's okay, we'll take it. We'll take it.
We'll take it. That's fine.
But yeah, those gestures. And one of the things that they talk about that it's really good for relationships, and not only for your spouse, but also for friendships, it's active listening, which I feel like I have to work on that again, because I have a little bit of, self-diagnosed
ADD.
and at times I could be talking to somebody and my mind is like, oh shoot, I gotta go do this, I gotta do that, and it's horrible. So it's something that I'm trying to practice. But like active listening to the other person, that's one good gesture that you can do for your other half. And then, for example, okay, how do you feel about unsolicited advice? Because this is one thing that Fabian tells me when we're having conversations. He's like, I would appreciate if you stop giving me advice. Yeah.
I personally welcome advice, even if it irritates me, right? Because there's gonna be times that you're not in agreement with what the person is telling you. You don't feel what they're telling you is true, or you want to put that wall up and say, no, that's not like that. You know what I mean? Because people get bothered. But you know what? In all honesty, again, I say this again for myself. With age, I've gotten a little bit more receptive to listening. Now, if I don't agree, I will continue on my merry lee way and continue doing what I'm doing. But sometimes I do. Maybe at the moment, don't take it so nicely. But then as I get time to really sink it in, or to listen and kind of understand what that person is saying, I say, you know what? It's welcomed, because sometimes we do not see our own faults or what we're doing,
and we need somebody to help us.
To kind of help us say like, hey, listen, and I think it all depends how you say that unsolicited advice.
True.
The tone of voice that you're going to use saying it to somebody.
But that's a difference that we have. Although now I'm thinking about it, when people give me advice, my first reaction sometimes is like, I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
But active listening and just being there for the person and trying to help them in this case. So I've learned like to just shut up. Yeah. And then I'll be like, can I give you an advice? And most of the time, he's like, yeah. What do you want? What do you have to say? But it's something that it took me a while, because And he said, maybe it's a Puerto Rican thing because you're always getting everybody's conversations and you're like, mira, wait, what are you talking about? ¿Qué dices? ¿Cómo? Espérate, yo te voy a dar un consejito.
Yeah.
So maybe that's in me, but so that's another thing. Like try to, understand each other and each person's needs.
Maybe that's a good way to go about it, though. With the unsolicited advice, maybe it's a good way to say, hey, can I tell you something?
Yeah.
And I think when you open up that door versus just pushing in and saying it, because I do. No, and I do that too. I'm very verbal, as you may possibly know. But maybe it's a way of, actually, you gave me a tip for my households. So maybe the next time I want to tell Benjamin something in our relationship, instead of just saying it, and sometimes I can say things a little harsh depending on what mood I'm in, say, hey, can I tell you something? And and that's maybe softening things, and that opens up doors to better communication. Exactly. And then that person feels like loved, and there goes that love language kind of thing, where you're entering in a nice soft way versus, you're entering in a soft way.
You should do this, you should do this is what you should do, because in my experience it worked. They don't want to hear that.
Yeah.
They don't want to hear that.
Yeah.
So, yay. That makes me happy. I gave you a tip.
You just opened up a Pandora's box for me.
So, other things that you could do for your loved one is like the small gestures, like leaving a note in the car. I've talked about this in the past. Yeah. That's something that Fabian, he does this stuff. Like going over what we were going to talk about today, I'm like, he's awesome because he did. He was working at this event with our video production company, and I love the water, the Spindrift waters.
Never heard of it.
Spindrift. I'm obsessed with them. So at the party, like he took one, he didn't want to take two, I don't know, whatever. He took one. So he comes home late at night. I'm already sleeping. When I wake up in the morning, there was like a can of a Spindrift with a note. And he's like, baby, I love you. I brought this for you. The next day, he's like, I really love you because I was so thirsty and that's the only one they had and I brought with me and I know you love it and I left it for you.
But it's such a small detail.
Little things, a freaking can of Spindrift, it's just those little things, like, when we were sharing cars, we only had one back in the day, and he knew that I had to go to an audition, so he would leave like a note, like, baby, like, good luck. And that's something that I also want to like start doing with Luna, like in her lunchbox, like put little notes and
show her,
teaching them like the little things. It's not like I'm always have to be buying you toys or stuff, like love notes for her.
And it makes that person feel internally like, it's not a material thing, which material things is nice as well. Don't get me wrong. But those little things go a long way. It's something that maybe a year passes by and you're like, you know what? I still remember the day that you fixed the washer and dryer for me. Something of that sort. But you, and I didn't have to ask you, and you just did it. Like it made me feel heard. You listened to me.
Yes.
Sometimes I feel you're not listening to me, but you know what? That little thing that you did showed me that you do. Or
that they hear us, our needs.
Or, and this is something that comes, again, I'm sure with the ladies out there, when you're so busy, especially with kids and work and just everything, for your husband, maybe, again, because we know usually they're the bulk of them, I would say, their love language is more sexy time, more touch, more, of that sort of thing. Maybe one day it's, again, I'm putting this out there for myself as well. Maybe you have to go, not have to, but maybe one day you really say, you know what, today we have time. Today I'm going to get a nice piece of lingerie. I'm not going to show up to bed in the freaking same PJs that I show up to that haven't been all broken.
Do you have like a favorite t-shirt like that it's it's full of holes? Yes. Oh my God. I have one and I love it.
But imagine, is it sexy?
With all of my like sleeping pants or whatever. But that shirt, poor shirt.
But imagine if you take the time, let's say Fabian's love language is that, more of a touch, more of a physical. I don't know, because you didn't say what his was. Is it that what his is?
His is quality time.
But okay, but that also comes with...
Quality time is the one he chose.
But that also comes with like, it comes with cuddling, with, holding hands, with, it comes with still some sort of touch. If us ladies, I want to say ladies in general, when you feel like, oh my God, you put sex to the back burner because that's what the bulk of us do. That's like the last thing that sometimes we want to do because on a busy day.
Our to-do list, it's huge. And then we finish and we're tired.
And they think, because this is such a common thing. Yeah. They think that it's because we do not like sex or because we do not like the physical touch because we are not interested in it. And maybe in the beginning you were because it was when they were courting you. And then as time passed by, it's like you kept pushing that to the side. Becomes the last thing. Maybe on our end, it's like, you know what, today, everything's been so nice. Maybe I go and I buy that nice lingerie and I meet him in bed, you know what I mean? Saying, hey, come to bed. And when he sees you, you're like, wow, something different. It's not that same PJ you were wearing for the past month with a hole in it, So it's like that will teach him, wow, she's listening. She actually cares about my needs as well,
Yes.
meeting my needs.
But we need to that load has to be taken off a little bit.
Correct.
We're not talking about every day, but at least 4 times a week. I'm kidding. But help us because back in the day, we didn't have toys to be picking up. We didn't have the lunch we don't have to be like making the lunch for tomorrow because with him, it's like grab something to eat. I'll grab something to eat, but we have to feed the baby, whatever. So our load, it's obviously we have more now to do. Sometimes you're feeding now 4 people instead of just the 2 of you. You
Absolutely.
have to wash dishes for like a whole family from the breakfast, lunch, and dinner because you work.
Yeah.
You also work. You have a career. You don't have time to clean the dishes as soon as they have breakfast, as soon as they have lunch. So at the end of the day, if you come and you help us with that load, you can have surprises.
Yes, absolutely. You're saying that, and Benjamin sent me, between everybody, I don't know if you and Fabian do this, but we send memes to each other, like things, obviously, that, let's say you see, like, he saw this lady talking on a podcast, and he sends me this meme, and the lady, it's like a little snippet, and she's like, guys, the worst thing that I ever did, and I'm like, what is he trying to tell me? The worst thing that I ever did was put my husband to the back burner because of my kids, and because of this. Men need sexual touch. Men need that thing. Yeah, he did send it to me. And I was like, and then I put a big smiley face and I was like, what are you trying to tell me? So I call him and I'm like, what are you trying to say to me? And he goes to me, no, nothing. I just saw. And I was like, it's like a freaking subliminal message. So I'm like, I need to find the meme that shows about the laundry and the this and that. So we could like kind of, so I get it. You know what?
Like meet me in the laundry room.
Exactly. Let's fold clothes and then we'll figure out.
Actually, I think that's sexy in a way. Like, okay, probably you're listening. You're like, what the fuck are you talking about? But like, you can be folding clothes together, and maybe not.
It could. You could try.
Make it sexy. Do it on your lingerie.
Not if you have the kids running around. It's hard.
Like, you can put your lingerie and be like, "Hey, baby, you want some of this? Now come with me. Let's go to the laundry room. Let's start." That's our foreplay. By the way, our foreplay is when you help us with our household chores.
It is.
That's the foreplay. Forget about everything else. We need help.
It is.
We women need help. Help us.
and I promise you, it's a cycle of things, right? So I'm sure the men that listen that do fall into that, let's say that what is it? That part of like the 80, I would say it's 80% of the man that wants more of touch and more of, physical everything.
Yeah.
I think, they're probably thinking, well, no, first you give me this and then I feel reciprocated and then I'm going to reciprocate too.
Yeah.
And it's not, it's just a circle altogether, right?
Yeah.
It comes down full circle.
Teamwork.
It's teamwork. Yeah.
Basically, it's teamwork. And when you talk about the touch, I'm working in my home office, which is like in the middle of the living room. And when he goes to grab something in the kitchen and comes by and gives me like a 1-minute massage, like for me, it's those little things make me happy.
So you care,
I sometimes do the same thing to him. I'll hug him and he's like, oh my God, I love that. And it's just like a quick hug. And we need that. We need that touch.
That security,
that affection.
Yeah.
Even if it's a short one. But if you get like these notes throughout the day, that doesn't have to be every day, but like little text messages thinking about you, or sometimes we get these memories on the phone of like really cool, fun experiences. Hey, if you want to be taken on vacation, this is a good tip. Send them like pictures of your last vacation
together, like subliminally,
like, hey.
subliminal messages, right? Like, oh my God, remember that time we went to so and so? Look at this picture. Most definitely.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to only be Valentine's. Obviously, Valentine's is very marketed for that.
Yeah.
So you spend, but at least it makes us remember, shit, it's Valentine's Day. So at least it makes you gather your thoughts and do something on that day. If you haven't done something in 364 days of the year, at least it helps you to think of one day that you're gonna do.
Take time for yourself, like not for yourself, for you and your partner. I last year we went to dinner for Valentine's, and I remember there were like 3 families and they had like their kids there, which it was cute. It's like, okay, but I mean, you need time. And it's probably like the perfect excuse. It's Valentine's, go to lunch with the kids, but then if you have somebody to help you with them at night, take 2 hours.
Time.
Take 2 hours and go and have, don't talk about the kids in your dinner. Like, talk about, how you met. Go back to
reminisce.
That. Yeah. The other day we were talking about that. We're like, oh, remember the time we were together and this and that. And we probably talk about this like 2 or 3 times a year, but it always brings us a smile, and it takes us back to that moment on when we fell in love and all that. When did you fall in love with Benji? When did you know, like, oh shit, I'm in love?
Again,
like,
I think I've mentioned. I think I mentioned this in like one of our previous like really early episodes when we started this. And with him and I, the way that we connected is dancing.
Oh, dancing, right?
And for us, dancing. I love dancing. He loves dancing, which I love because most men typically don't care to dance too much. At least the men that I have met prior, and he loves to dance. And we would sync and we would connect just in the dancing, and that also brings sexy time after.
So if you can go out dancing, then do it while he's doing the dishes.
Let me tell you, one day you guys came over to our house. Darlene and Fabian came over to our house. They left maybe it was like 1 a.m. And we were like, you know what? Why are we going to go to bed? The kids are sleeping. Let's continue watching like videos of the music that we like. We sat on the sofa and we made a little dance party between him and I our living room. And it was the best time. We woke up the next morning. We're like, you know what? We got time to each other. We felt loved, reciprocal. You know what I mean?
You went back to dancing to that. That's your thing.
Our thing.
That's how you started.
Always. And every time like certain songs come up or whatever, it makes us like, it ignites something inside that not that you forgot, but it was put to the back burner again because of everything else that you've got going on, So it really is. It's like, it's hard and we know it and I know it, and I'm sure you know it, Darlene, and I'm sure every couple out there, regardless of kids or not kids, how hard it is after a couple of years to sometimes rekindle all those things from the beginning, but there is ways to do it and it's work. People don't like to think that the relationship should be work. I've seen people say, no, you should not have to work for a relationship at all. What? It's not. If it comes natural, it should just come natural. Yes, but it does take work because there's so many things in between you and your spouse, between all the shit that's going on.
Oh my God, work. And even just like he could be in a good mood on his way home and something happens on the road or traffic, and it switches the person's mood that moment, and they come home and they make it all about like I'm pissed off, and they bring that bad energy, and
it affects everything.
Complicated. It affects everything, so it's complicated. One advice is, I know it's hard, but try to leave like all that shit before you walk into the house. It's funny you're talking about how your thing was like dancing, which by the way, we're dying to go dancing one night with you guys.
Oh, I love it.
So much fun. But in our case, we fell in love over the phone, right? Because he was traveling. So we were having this conversation of like going back to that moment when we fell in love. And I'm like, oh, he was traveling a lot. I think he was working with Iglesias, Enrique. And it was like for 3 months, or he went to Russia. So it was like phone conversations. And I'm like, oh my God.
And sexy time over the phone.
We were starting. It was more like a lot of conversations.
Which is great.
Which I love, yeah. And I remember like I was on the phone and looking at myself in the mirror. There's a bunch of mirrors where I was staying in. And I remember being like, oh, fuck. I think I'm in love. And I asked him when was it for him, and he said at that same 2-hour phone conversation. So I said, okay, if we need to rekindle that, you need to go away for 3 months and just talk over the phone.
Just give me a hotel. I'll leave. Yeah. You take care of the chores for me in the house, and call me when you're done.
When you're done,
and we'll talk for 2 hours, and I'll be here waiting for you to call.
That's so funny.
But yeah,
that's great. But yeah, so. It is Valentine's, and let's celebrate love and friendships, and also your parents. Like, give them flowers and tell them how much you love them. It's a day to celebrate love. Every day should.
Yeah.
But today, I guess, is the official.
Today's the day that it's in your face, and you should remember.
All over. Yes.
Yeah.
And I do love flowers, baby. I do. I don't need something expensive, just the flowers.
I just want a clean house, okay?
Hint, clean house, yes, for sure. All right. So with that said, ladies and gentlemen, ladies, go out there, buy your nice lingerie, meet your husband halfway, and men, make a clean house. Do a clean house. I promise you, your lady will appreciate it. Oh, yes. And if you are single, go out, have fun, book a table with you and your friends. Yeah, and go dance. Ladies, kids. Go dance on the tabletops with your kids. It's about love. It doesn't have to be relationship as far as, boyfriend, husband. Okay? Absolutely. All right. Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. Be safe. Love you. Bye. Bye.